Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're diving into some truly fascinating corners of the tech world.
Yeah.
We've got AI stepping into some pretty unexpected places.
Yeah, really unexpected.
And some serious horsepower in, like, the speech processing arena.
Definitely some powerful stuff.
So yeah, buckle up. It's going to be a quick, but I think pretty interesting ride.
Absolutely. It's amazing how rapidly these technologies are evolving,
Yes.
finding their way into such diverse applications.
Okay, let's kick things off with something that feels, well, almost straight out of a movie.
Ew. Intriguing.
Imagine AI being used in a courtroom to allow someone who's passed away to actually address their killer.
Wow, seriously?
Seriously. This happened in Arizona. Christopher Pelkey, who tragically died in a road rage incident a few years back.
Right, I think I heard something about that case.
They actually used AI to create a digital version of him so he could deliver a statement at the sentencing.
No way. How did that even work?
Well, the details are a bit sparse, but the outcome was this AI-generated statement.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, this really gets you a shame we encountered each other that day in those circumstances.
Whew.
That's heavy.
Yeah. And it's being called a potential world first. What strikes you most about this?
Well, what's fascinating, I mean, deeply fascinating, is the intersection of tech and such a deeply human moment,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
He gives a new avenue for victim impact statements, offering a voice in a way we just couldn't imagine before. But
Right.
while it's powerful, it also prompts us to think really hard about the role of AI in these kinds of sensitive legal proceedings going forward, the ethics, the implications.
It really does open up a whole can of questions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, switching gears a bit. Something maybe more everyday, but still using AI's power.
Okay.
Google has a new feature. It's in its iOS app called Simplify, powered by their Gemini AI.
Simplify. Okay, what does it do?
Think of it as your personal jargon translator, basically, for the internet. I could use that sometimes.
Right. So you highlight any complex text on a web page, maybe some dense legal stuff or, confusing medical speak.
Yeah.
You tap a simplify icon and bam, it just rephrases it in plain language. But it supposedly keeps all the important bits intact.
Okay, that seems genuinely practical. A really good use case for these large language models like Gemini.
Exactly.
We're constantly hitting walls of text online that feel like they're written in another language.
Totally.
So having AI act as a kind of real-time interpreter, yeah, that could significantly boost digital literacy, make information way more accessible for everyone. It sort of lowers the barrier, to understanding complex stuff online.
Exactly. No more feeling like you need a secret decoder ring just to understand website terms and conditions.
Aha.
Now, let's talk about making machines understand us better. Speech AI.
Okay, always interesting developments there.
NVIDIA, they just dropped a new speech AI model. It's called Parakeet 2.
Parakeet 2. Okay.
Yeah. What's really cool here, it's open source, ready for commercial use. And get this, it can run on devices with just 2 GB of RAM.
2 gigs. Seriously. That's tiny for this kind of AI.
I know, right? It's like fitting a supercomputer into a smart toaster.
That low resource requirement, that's a really significant leap. Usually these cutting-edge models need serious processing power.
Right.
Parakeet 2's efficiency means we could see high-quality speech recognition popping up in a much wider range of devices. Think budget smartphones, smart home stuff.
Even like embedded systems.
Exactly. Places where resources are really tight.
And it's not just light on its feet. It's apparently a speed demon, too.
Yeah.
And super accurate.
Oh, yeah. How fast?
We're talking about transcribing an hour of audio in about a second. That's according to folks over at Hugging Face.
1 second for an hour. Wow, okay.
Plus, it's sitting at the top of Hugging Face's leaderboard for open source speech recognition.
Yeah.
Really low error rate. It's beating some big names like Microsoft's 5.4 and 11 Labs Scribe.
Okay, hold on. Speed, accuracy, and low resource use. That's kind of the trifecta, isn't it?
Seems like it.
That could really shake things up. For things like voice assistance or, real-time transcription.
Or voice controls.
Yeah, exactly. Having a model that's both fast and reliable is just crucial. And the fact it's open source, that just fuels innovation, lets developers build on it freely.
Yeah, good point. They trained this thing on a huge data set too, like 120,000 hours of English audio.
Whoa.
And it handles all the little things, punctuation, capitalization, even gives you timestamps for individual words.
Word level timestamps are really useful.
It sounds like NVIDIA is really trying to, I don't know, democratize advanced speech AI, offering a powerful alternative to the more closed-off systems.
Precisely. By making Parakeet 2 open and commercially viable, NVIDIA is basically empowering a whole ecosystem. Developers, startups,
Yeah.
they can now get state-of-the-art speech rec into their products without those often hefty costs or restrictions you get with proprietary tech.
Well,
This could really lead to a wave of innovation in how we interact with our devices using voice.
it definitely feels like we're on the cusp of some really interesting developments there.
Yeah.
How we talk to tech.
Agreed.
Okay, quick look at the business side now. CrowdStrike, big cybersecurity company.
Yep, know them.
They're doing a bit of a reshuffle, laying off about 5% of their workforce. Estimates are around 500 people.
Oof. Yeah, we've seen a bit of that in tech lately.
They're framing it as, a move towards greater efficiency, but they also say they're still planning to hire. It's a bit of a mixed bag, right?
It is, but it's often how companies try to optimize as they grow, Layoffs can be part of reallocating resources, maybe shifting focus to higher priority areas, or just streamlining things.
So not necessarily a sign of trouble.
Not always. The fact they plan to keep hiring suggests it might be more of a targeted adjustment, not like a full-scale contraction. Time will tell, obviously.
Right, right. Okay. Meanwhile, if you're a Spotify user,
Which many are.
you might notice some handy updates hitting the app soon. They're giving you more control over your listening queue.
Oh, good. The queue can be a bit fiddly sometimes.
Yeah, and making it easier to hide songs you're just not feeling, And generally, improving playlist control on your phone.
That sounds good. User experience is so critical for services like Spotify.
Totally.
Giving users more control, fixing those little annoyances, that directly addresses pain points, right?
Yeah.
Keeps people happy and engaged. These kinds of updates are essential.
Yeah, sounds like they're actually listening to what listeners want, which is nice.
Always good to see.
Okay, lastly, the folks who brought us Parakeet 2, Hugging Face,
Back to them.
they also released something called Open Computer Agent. It's a free cloud-hosted agent, but the early buzz is that it might be a little on the slow side and maybe a bit buggy.
Okay. Open Computer Agent. Interesting name.
Yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on, maybe as it matures.
Well, it's pretty typical for initial releases of complex AI agents, right? To have some kinks. Offering it for free probably lets Hugging Face get tons of valuable user feedback, iterate on it in the wild. These open experiments are generally good for the whole AI community, even if V1 isn't perfect.
Good point. So, yeah, from AI giving a voice in the courtroom, which is just mind-blowing,
Still processing that one.
to making complex text understandable with a tap,
Yeah.
empowering super efficient speech tech. It's clear AI just keeps weaving its way into more and more parts of our lives.
Absolutely. And what's really notable, I think, is that trend towards greater accessibility and usability.
Yeah.
These advances are making powerful AI tools more readily available for individuals, for developers.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the pace of innovation just keeps speeding up. It's hard to keep track sometimes.
Indeed. It really makes you wonder what surprising applications of AI we'll be seeing next week, next month.
Right. Always something new just around the corner. Well, that pretty much wraps up our quick dive to the latest bite-sized tech news for today.
It's been an insightful look at these developments for sure.
Hey, thanks for tuning into Bite-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, maybe found it interesting or, even just mildly amusing.
Hopefully more than mildly.
Yeah, hopefully. Do us a solid and hit that like button. Leave a comment if anything particularly sparked your curiosity. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
And absolutely share this with anyone you think might dig this kind of chat.
Please do.
And of course, if you want to keep up with all our future tech explorations, make sure you subscribe. Until next time.